Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe the flag is behind us tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we need a motion to adopt the agenda. Kim had just given us, we have two addendums. One, we're going to put, let me just, for the record, under superintendent's recommendations, we're going to move Luke Sabo up from item D. We're going to scratch him off there and put him up under item C. He should be up under there for the 2023-24 school year. And then at the end of superintendent's recommendations, we're going to have an item H, which I will read when the time comes. But other than that, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended? So moved.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. Welcome everyone to the Alexander regular board meeting for February. Just on a slight light note, I'd like to, if our spouses are watching, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to attend on Valentine's Day. We love you, but thank you for humoring us with our illness of wanting to be on the school board. So thank you all. All right, under reports and comments, we'll go over to Mr. Hampton for the superintendent report.
All right, I have a few things to talk about this evening. First, just an update on the civil rights complaint. If you recall, back towards the start of fall, we were one of over 50 districts that were included in a civil rights complaint related to girls' athletics. And so this has been a time-consuming process, but I work with some really key people that are really sharp. Mrs. Carr and Mrs. Lucas have been the point people in this. I don't know what that is. Okay, all right. Yeah, let's hope nothing falls in this evening. But no, we are one of 50 or more districts that are being filed on for this complaint because they're looking to balance some of the athletic competition schedules so that girls' competition schedules match boys, so that everyone has an equal opportunity to perform in what's considered a premium audience, if you will. So we've submitted all of our paperwork. It's a couple of years of schedules, of practice schedules, game schedules, different opportunities for scrimmages, and all of that. We've even sent in our ticket receipts, and putting all of this together in a nice 9-attachment email and sending it to our attorney for her review. It's all going to be submitted. We will get a response from the Civil Rights Commission, and they will make suggestions for us to make changes, or they'll accept what we've submitted and say that you've done your due diligence here and things look all right. I look for them to make some suggestions. Some of the early suggestions that I've seen from other districts has been that find ways to put your girls on what's considered a prime time evening, whether it be on Friday night or Saturday night. And some of that's localized because it's based on your traditions. You know, what's important to your community. You know, in some schools, in some districts, your Saturday night games aren't very popular. People don't go to a lot of Saturday night games. They focus on the Fridays, and that's the big night. But other sports want to have the same or equal treatment, equal opportunities. The girls' sports want to have equal opportunities for those kinds of moments. So we've submitted all of our paperwork. I anticipate it'll be a couple of months before we hear something back. But I'm glad to somewhat have that behind us right now, and we'll look for what the recommendations are going forward. So, and this was one individual in northeastern Ohio who made this complaint, but felt the need to include a multitude of schools. And at first, I was maybe a little upset, but in hindsight, it's been a good process of reflection on what we do and why, and so how we take care of our kids. So we'll learn from it, and I'll keep you guys updated on how that moves. Another thing, just want to talk about. I know there have been questions about the development of our school calendars, and so school calendars are, I don't know, we have to sit down. We have a certain number of days. We have 183 days for teachers that we have to work within, just 183. And we have student days within that. We have around 174, I believe it is. Within those days, you have to schedule your testing, your assessments, your enrollments, your kindergarten, when you bring them in on staggered schedules. There are all sorts of things that come at you from different points. Some of it is tradition. You know, if you have a traditional day or that you do a particular thing. Some of it is scripted by the state, in that we have a certain window. Let's say the first 10 days of March, we have a window where we test. That's probably not right, but within the first 10 days of March, we have to get all of our language arts testing complete. In the next 10 days in March, we have to complete all of our math testing. And then the 10 days beyond that, we have to complete our science. There's a scripted schedule that we have to kind of work within. And we have to find different opportunities for breaks and grade periods to end, and all of that within all of those days. We have parent-teacher conferences, which they stretch the day of a teacher, and then we put a half day on the end so that they're not in session. But there are lots of little influences on the calendars. One of the points of contention that's been brought up has been, why doesn't our calendar match the spring break for OU? And that works for some people. We build 3 calendars each year, and those 3 calendars are voted on by our staff. So we have different varieties of calendars. We'll have one that's traditional in the sense that, like the one we have now, it's a typical traditional calendar. We also created another one that is in the same arrangement, but we have spring break matching OU spring break. And then we created a third one that's more creative and maybe a little bit different approach. And it's a hammer down and go kind of calendar, because we're going to finish early. So the staff is going to vote on that after tonight. We'll vote on calendars and talk about that. We vote on calendars tonight that these 3 would be the ones that we present, and then we'll present them to the staff, collect their votes, and that'll be our calendar for next year. So I know there were some questions. I know some on the board that had questions from parents about why we do this and why we do that. Those are the basic parameters. You get 183 staff days, you get 174, I think, student days, and you work within that. The days aren't the most important piece when you measure student time. It actually comes down to hours. So the state went away from days because everyone's days were different. Our day's different from other schools. There are other schools in the county that have a 7-hour and 15-minute day. We have a 7-hour day. I know of schools that have 7.5-hour days. All of those, they're all unique. They're all different. So the state decided to go away from days and make hours the minimum. So our high school, junior high kids, they have to have 1,001 hours. So they have to be in school for 1,001 hours. We divide up our days, and if you calculate our days and it's the current calendars, we have about 9 days to play with for weather. So if we missed 9 days next year, we'd be at our limit for the number of days that we could miss. So for our elementary kids, they have I forget this one, but I think it's like 960 hours. That's close. So they have a little bit more time. An elementary day is sometimes more compressed. So that's calendar 101, if you will, on why we do things. I know there was a question about in the iterations that we've presented, if there was a need to move one of the days from this calendar to October, and we can do that here. We don't have any real off days in October, but November is kind of choppy. We could swap a day and move, say, the 1st of November, that's a day off, and push that into October on October 11th. That shouldn't cause too much of an issue. I don't know that it would cause an issue, but these are the calendars that we developed with our administrators, our teachers union, our OPSI staff. Everybody was there. We all sat down and hashed it out day at a time.
I had a couple of people ask, mainly about the OU spring break alignment, and after I had the phone conversation with you, knowing that there's at least one option in there that they have to vote on with that, I guess then it's majority rules. So if the majority of the staff doesn't vote for that option, that's all I can do. There's at least one option there presented where most of the families can, or at least have a chance to line up with OU spring break.
OU spring break doesn't always fall at a great time, but it's there. It's an option, and our staff will have an opportunity to vote for that if they choose. The last piece that I was going to talk about is probably the heaviest piece. We are in a situation where we need to make some changes in our staffing, and that's beyond the levy. We know the levy's hanging out there, and the levy is $2.2 million. It's 11% of our budget. We know that that's out there. Regardless of the levy, we recognize we need to make some changes. We've got some goals on how we handle that. I'd like to do the majority of that through attrition, but I know that's not entirely possible. We will have some changes that will impact people. Some of the positions, they will be opened due to retirements. So we are going to do our best to not fill those positions or move internally people into those positions so that people don't lose jobs. We do our best with that. And like I say, it's not perfect because there will be instances where we do have to have those hard conversations. My goal by making these changes next year, by the end of the calendar year, I hope to have reduced our salaried spending by $400,000 to $500,000 by the end of the calendar year. I want to follow that the next year, again, with about $400,000 in reductions in salary. That still would not get us to the point that it would recover the levy loss if it were to fail. But those are changes that we feel we can make. Those are changes that are going to impact people inside. It'll change people's jobs. It'll change their responsibilities. It'll also it may change what subjects people are teaching. But those are possible changes that we can do within the buildings. We're also going to look at some other opportunities to save because there are some more creative and outside of the box ideas. They come with some risk, but they are opportunities.
All good, Will?
I'm good.
Okay. Christy, would you like to give us your presentation, please?
Hi, my name is Christy. I run the kitchen here at Alexander. I work for the nutrition group. This is my first year, so I'm learning a lot. But first off, I just want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody. My husband wasn't very happy I was here either, but he'll get over it. First, I don't know if everybody knows, but January was School Board Recognition Month. So I would like to say thank you to all of you board members for your role in the community and helping the children of this community. We appreciate you and thank you for the opportunity to serve your district and to provide the meals to your students. For the year so far, we've had 108 days. I like to give numbers because numbers speak a lot of words. For breakfast so far this year, we have served 48,014 breakfasts. And for lunch, we have served 71,258. So, big numbers. My kitchen staff, I can't thank them enough. I have thrown a lot at them this year, and they have taken it in stride and have rised up to the challenge of offering new things to the students, introducing different cuisines. Tomorrow, we actually have chicken dumplings with sweet and sour sauce with fried rice. So it's something different that the kids may not always have an opportunity to try, and trying to get them to try it. We also have an event that I'm working on. It's called Willy Wonka. So we will have golden tickets on the bottom of random trays, and then the kids will get to turn those in for little trinkets or treats that we will do, get them to kind of participate and have fun. Let's see. Had an opportunity to meet with some of our students and talk to them about what they like, what they don't like, and it was very enlightening. I was surprised at some of their answers. Elementary was all about chicken nuggets, but which we do have that. And then planning on hopefully meeting with PTO members and also the high school to see what we can do to get more of them to come into the kitchen. What kind of things do they want to see? We are offering a wide variety of things, different salads and wraps and sandwiches and all kinds of things to try and entice them to make sure they're getting a good meal so their brains can, have the fuel they need to learn. And if you guys aren't following yet, we do have Facebook. It is the nutrition group at Alexander, where I do post things that are upcoming and we have done. Today we had a little gnome with a little heart with our donut that we provided for middle school and high school. And tomorrow for Valentine's Day, I know it's today, but preschool wasn't here. I didn't want to leave them out. They're going to have cookies tomorrow that they'll have on their trays. So it's fun and exciting. We also do classroom celebrations. I know it's getting towards the end of the year. So if anybody is wanting to have a party and you don't want to plan it, let me know and I'll plan it for you. And always, any questions anybody has, any parents, anything like that, I'm always available. If I don't get right back to you, I will. If you have questions about student accounts or your kids, like, I don't get enough food, maybe they're not taking everything that they can take, I would have no problem letting them know and educating them on that as well. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Questions, Kristen?
Quick question.
Yes.
You mentioned 48,000 breakfasts.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those were free of charge? All of them? Do you know?
Those are the ones that were reimbursable. So those don't count the second breakfast or anything like that. That's just the ones that are,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
I just want to take a moment to say thank you. I'm the one that gets my kids ready in the morning. My wife gets their lunches ready, and she is very thankful for every time she gets to say, "You're getting a hot lunch."
Yeah.
So they're excited about it, which is something new. So
Yes.
they are really appreciative, and my wife appreciates it.
Thank you.
Makes my life easier. So thank you.
Happy wife, happy life.
No.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, next would be public participation for agenda items. Do we have anybody who wants to talk? No? Okay. Then moving on under Treasurer's recommendations. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the minutes of the organizational meeting and the regular meeting, both held on January 10th, 2024. Make a motion.
Moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
We can discuss it at any time.
Okay. Josh,
Yes.
Steven,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Board of Education approve the financial statement for the month ending January 31st, 2024.
So moved.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Boards of Education approve the following transfers, and these are just our typical school-wide pool transfers that we do every month.
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
Josh,
Yep.
Stephen,
Yep.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Board of Education accept the following donation. It's from TS Photos. Roughly, what, $4,000. So,
A little over, yeah.
so thank you to TS Photos for those donations. Have a motion to accept, please.
So moved. Thank you.
Seconded.
Paper and scissors.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. Under superintendent recommendations, it's recommended the Board of Education approve the substitute teachers and paraprofessionals as recommended by the Athens Meigs ESC superintendent. So moved.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Board of Education grant continuing contracts to the following per their enclosed request. That's Susan Meeks and Jordan Miles.
So moved.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. This is C. This is the one that we added Luke Sabo at the bottom of our list for JV baseball. It's recommended the Board of Education employ the following supplementals for the 2023-24 school year, pending their meeting all state and local requirements.
So moved.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Board of Education employ the following supplementals for the 24-25 school year, pending their meeting all state and local requirements.
So moved.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. And Lauren, since you're sitting right there, welcome again. Congratulations. But I guess I've got the gray hair enough now, but I remember when you were in high school and I'd travel around and watch you guys play, and then you went to OU and played, and your family was gracious enough to let me go to the MAC tournament with you guys, and it's been a long time ago, but I don't know of anybody better qualified than you are. It's great to have you. I mean, there's very few that's had the success in college that you've had, and welcome. I mean, you've never left a district, I know, but welcome. Welcome. Okay. It's recommended the Board of Education accept the enclosed letter of retirement, resignation for Marianne Welsh, effective June 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Seconded.
We need a correction. Well, let's
Her
do it
letter
before.
says May 31st.
May 31st?
And her retirement
Okay.
said June. So
All right, so let's make that correction.
do May 31st.
So it's effective May 31st, not June 1st. All right,
First with the name of,
okay. All right.
I'll
somebody-
move.
Okay, thank you.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes, and thank you to Mrs. Welsh.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes, and thank you.
Jay.
Yes, and thank you to Marianne. I've known her a number of years, and she comes from a family of educators. So I've known her mom for many years, and she was an educator as well. So thanks, and I hope you enjoy retirement. Item F, it's recommended Board of Education accept the enclosed letter of resignation from Kathy Dugan, bus driver, effective February 23rd, 2024.
So moved.
Seconded.
She does want to speak under.
Under non?
Under
Okay.
non-agenda items.
Okay. Under non? Okay.
Josh,
Yes, and thank you.
Stephen,
Yes, and thank you very much.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes, and thank you.
Jay.
And yes, and thank you, Kathy. I know you've actually retired from the school district once, but you've been here a long time, and I know the kids love you, and everybody's going to miss you. But thanks for your service to the district. It's recommended the Board of Education adopt the enclosed resolution regarding the reduction of a paraprofessional employee.
So moved.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake. Jay.
Yes. And now we're going to do item H on the addendum. It's recommended the Board of Education employ Colby Carsey as freshman basketball coach for the 23-24 school year, pending his meeting all state, local requirements, and offer compensation of 1/2 the regular stipend.
Moved.
Seconded.
I do have a question on, is this freshman team something that we normally don't have enough participation in? Like we have enough this year that it not only able to be done, but necessary to be done?
We were able to field a team this year, and anytime you can field a team and compete, be competitive, it's helpful for the team and the kids long term. We were able to do that this year. We're not always able to do that, whether it's sometimes us or other opponents. We were able to field a team, and many of our other schools were as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good
Absolutely
thing.
fantastic.
Good?
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Board of Education adopt the enclosed resolution regarding membership with Ohio High School Athletics Association for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Seconded.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. It's recommended the Board of Education approve Sunday, May 26th, 2024 at 1:30 as the date and time for graduation ceremony for the class of 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes, it's recommended the Board of Education approve the following policies for inclusion into the Policies and Procedures Manual as recommended by OSBA.
So moved.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Jay.
Yes. Do we have any business initiated by board members? Everybody good? Board reports? Okay, Kathy, public participation on non-agenda items.
I'm Kathy Dugan, and Jay's right. I retired from Alexander in 2019. I sat down at the bus garage this morning. I'm going to try not to be emotional, but I told Mr. Hampton that's probably not going to happen because I truly love this job. It is my calling. But I sat down and wrote some notes this morning at the bus garage while waiting to go on my route. And then I thought I should give you this one first, or read this one to you first, so that you understand why I'm retiring or resigning at this time. I retired from Alexander in 2019. I went to work in the private sector for 2 years. I actually drove vans for Transit on Demand in Athens, which serves elderly, handicapped, disadvantaged people. And it was an okay job. But it wasn't my heart, it wasn't my love. So, COVID hit. It was hard finding bus drivers. So Dan and several other bus drivers had asked me about returning to the transportation department because I had driven bus for 15 years. And then I switched to when we opened up under one roof here, I switched to custodial maintenance, looking forward to retirement and having a better income. So I had kept my CDL up, and I subbed whenever they needed me while I was in custodial maintenance. So I came back, and Dan had told me that they were going to have 3 full-time sub positions come available, and that if I came back, that I would get one. And so I returned, and I received one of those jobs, and I was put on the seniority board as number 27. And in the 2 years since returning, I had moved up to number 23 with people retiring or quitting their jobs. And then on January the 5th, Dan came to me and which is my supervisor, told me that according to the retire, rehire clause, which is Article 42 in the union contract, that I did not have any seniority, and that they were going to be doing a reduction in force. And first of all, he said it's going to be soon. Then he changed it to probably April so that we'd make sure it would work in May. And I did meet with Mr. Hampton, and he told me that he wished I could have stayed the rest of the year because it would not have happened until next year. But in the meantime, I was contacted by Athens City Schools, who had a full-time permanent route available, and they offered that route to me. And I just need 3 years to get me to Medicare. That's all I need. So I accepted that job. So this is what I wrote this morning. As my time with Alexander Transportation ends, many thoughts and emotions have been on my mind. First of all, I want to thank Alexander, the board, and Mr. Hampton for letting me come back these last 2 years to do a job that I truly love. I told Mr. Hampton that early in my life, I knew that I wanted to work with kids. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But I was raised very poor, and that we were a large family, and kids tended to pick on other kids on the bus. And I was one of those that didn't put up with that. And I had a lot of younger siblings that I had to look out for too. So I became a bus driver. And there's a difference between driving a bus and being a bus driver. I want to make that clear. Because each morning, we are the first school employee that they see. And each afternoon, we are the last one that they see if they ride a bus. And I firmly believe that we should make their day the best that it can possibly be, because we do deal with children from broken homes, from a lot goes on. And we deal with situations every day, such as I have a new preschooler who's never ridden a bus. And he is as sweet as can be, but he would not stay seated. Yeah, we do have child restraints for smaller children that we have to have the parents sign if we put them in it. But this little guy is terrified of that restraint for some reason. But I found out that he loves his tablet and he loves to play games at home. So I talked with his mama, and she said, sure. And she brings the tablet to me on Monday mornings. I give it to him. He sits in the seat. He plays these games, and I have a little angel in that seat. And it just works perfectly. And then on Fridays, I send the tablet back home to get charged. I also, I have a special needs little lady that is from a broken home. And she has to go to her daddy's on Wednesday, and she cries. Every Wednesday she is upset and crying. And I found with her that I use oils, doTERRA oils, and there's one that's called a peace oil. And I found with her that it really helps her. So with her mother's permission, I gave her a bracelet and a bottle of those oils to put on it so that it helps her with her anxiety. So it's just little things like that. The things that we think are little things really are the big things for a lot of the students and the kids that we haul. And then there's my special needs little guy. And he is special. He loves buses. He loves bus numbers. He probably knows more of the bus numbers than I know. He asks me question after question after question about the buses. And I say his little name and I say, you know better than I do. Because I don't. He knows the buses in line. And I did make him a little chart that showed all the buses. And so I think it's just those little things that we do that I know is behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't realize how much bus drivers do every day to help the kids. And like I say, as a reminder, I guess I'm just reminding us all that the little things really are the big things. So next Friday, the 23rd, will be my final day in transportation at Alex. And it's not going to be easy, but I've assured my students that it's going to be fine, that they'll have a cool bus driver, and that I will always be the Regis fan. So on the 26th, I will start with Athens City, and I'm thankful and blessed that I'll be able to finish out my career that I truly love there. But I thank you again.
Kathy, again, thank you for all your time and service here. And it's a tough situation, and I'm not going to elaborate on it. Kathy, I mean, she's lived it, so she knows what I'm alluding to. But it's a tough situation we're in. That's all I'm going to say. But it's what you described there. We do kind of. I'm that way. My mind is not built for the little personal touches that you have done with these kids. I ask my daughters. I'm more of a hard-nosed, no-nonsense kind of guy, and what you bring to the table is completely different than what I would bring to the table. And again, all I can say is thank you. Thank you for your time here. Athens is getting a good one, so thank you for everything. Okay.
Kathy, I'd like to just say, you hit the nail on the head. It's not very often that you have when you talk about in school who impacted people's lives, people always go directly to teachers. And it's not very often that it's the other way around. I can personally say that you've impacted my life, and you've impacted a lot of people's, thousands of kids' lives. Blessed to have had you here, and Athens is getting the best.
Is that all we had for public?
Yes.
Okay. It's recommended we're going to enter into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official. And a little bit different tonight, we might vote on something when we come out of executive session. So if you want to stick around, we might vote on something. Can't make any guarantees, but it's not the normal, we won't be taking any action. We might. So I'm going to reserve that right after executive session to vote.
So moved.
Seconded.
Josh?
Yes.
Stephen?
Yes.
Aaron? Yes. Blake?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to make a quick comment. For those of you who choose not to stay, I've asked the board if it's okay if we postpone our March meeting 1 week. The levy, the primary is March 19th, and the normal second Wednesday would be the week earlier. So we're going to, if it's all right with everybody, we're going to do it on the 20th. It'll be the night after the election, and we'll kind of have a game plan of what at least the next 6 months is going to look like based on the results of the levy. So as long as everybody's okay, we're planning on the 20th of March. We'll set that once we get out of executive session. But if you're not here, I just wanted to give you some heads up that we are anticipating March 20th being the meeting next month. Okay, thank you. You got some time.
Have a donut.
I thought he already went in there.
Just leave now.
No, it was. I have that number you were asking for. Sorry, it's 18,546 would have been what I just picked up. You're welcome. I don't remember all that. Because I never heard that was your kid. I was like, oh, it's so busy, so we don't go.
Okay, it's 8:40. We will enter back into regular session. We will not be voting on anything. Our next meeting, if everybody's in agreement, will be March 20th, 7 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Seconded.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.